Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Welcome on in, guys. Great to see you. Hope you're having an awesome week. It is Thursday, July 30th, just after, 9 p.m. on the East Coast. So it's a little bit of an early stream here for your guy, Davey Deathray. I went a little bit earlier because I wanted more of you guys to, get to enjoy this, because tonight we're going to be celebrating Chuck Russell. I mean, really. It is, it'll be 40 years of A Nightmare on Elm Street Dream Warriors next year. So we're getting a jump on it because we just lost Chuck Russell last week. So, we unlocked this bonus stream here. You guys picked the movie between this one, The Blob from 1988, and The Mask from 1994. And those movies put up a pretty good fight, but man, it's going to be tough if you put Dream Warriors against anything, having a group of horror fans vote on anything else. So we are going to jump in. We are going to watch this movie. We're going to enjoy it. Before we get into that, I do just want to read a little bit from, Chuck Russell's Wikipedia page, just to kind of give us a little bit of a background on how he got into film. And maybe we'll learn a couple things. It's just going to be looking at the, I feel like watching the movie is great. We can always celebrate the movie. I think when we lose someone, it's a good time to kind of sit in that for a moment and learn a little something about him. At least for me, I don't know. Maybe you guys are Chuck Russell experts out there. You very well could be. But I figured we could share a little bit of his life and legacy before celebrating his life and legacy. So I'm going to jump in, say what's up to you guys, and then we'll just get cooking. Thank you so much for joining. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. If you really dig what we do here, the hype button is pretty awesome as well. And the old-fashioned way, tell a friend. You got a friend that likes horror? Bring them on over. Come on. If I can't convince them to stay, then the awesome folks in the chat will be able to. We got Antonis Andriotis in the chat, one of our great channel members. What's happening, Antonis? Hope you are doing well. That's right. We're the Dream Warriors. I can't quite hit the falsetto. It would just sound like the screechiest, thinnest thing ever. So I won't do it, but I will let Dawkin take care of that here in a little bit. We got Paula Fitzhenry. What's happening, Paula? Great to see you. Derek, welcome on in. Austin Almond, one of our great channel members. Welcome on in, Austin. We got Billy Judd hanging out. How are you doing, Billy? Always a pleasure. For whatever reason, StreamYard just skipped me right to the bottom. Paula Fitzhenry dropping a $5 super chat. Thank you so very much, Paula. That's right, guys. If we hit 5 super chats of $5 or more within the next 52 minutes and 20 seconds, we'll hang out. We will have a post-movie chat. Now, there's no shortage of Dream Warriors talk out there, so I won't be personally offended if you guys don't want to hang out a little bit extra. But no worries. It's there if you want to do it, and if not, no big deal. I'm just happy to be here with you. We got Merc Molina in the house. What's happening, Merc? Welcome on in. We got Zach hanging out. How are you doing, Zach? Welcome. We got Luke Ponto hanging out. What's happening, Luke? Welcome on in. Is that a Terminator shirt, Luke? Is that a shirt for the Terminator? It looks like it. At first, I was going to be like, ooh, is that a Megadeth shirt? And the more I looked at it, I'm like, no, that's like the T-800 eyes right there. Very close to the Jason Universe eyes, which doesn't look nearly as imposing on that Jason mask as it does when it's a killer robot. What's happening, Adrian? How are you doing? Welcome on in. We got Slasher Fred hanging out. What's happening, Slasher Fred? I think what makes Dream Warriors such a very iconic movie is when the series started getting into the whole dream world. Yeah, I mean, really, it's true, because we don't really see much of the dream world in the first movie. We see most, you do get some of the boiler room and stuff like that, but it doesn't, mostly it's like real world, and, when people are dreaming, they're just kind of in their houses. Yeah. This is the one where they really open up the creativity. They get back on track with the lore from the original movie. They expand it, but they don't cast it aside to get there. And I think this is where they really kind of found their footing, with Freddy and just with the whole world. They took plenty of leisures with it later on down the road, but I think this was the one where we've got like kind of the perfect mix. Now, maybe hardcore fans will say he's a little too funny in this one. I totally understand you, but I still think it's pretty good. The Blob remake smokes this movie by a mile, though. R.I.P. Chuck. I love the Blob remake. Gavin, welcome on in, man. Yeah, I love it. I probably would have picked it for this one because next year is going to be the 40th of Dream Warriors, so you could just put it off and kind of celebrate it then. But we could still have a celebration stream and really dive into the nerdy, kind of like what we're going to do on Saturday with Jason Lives. So celebrating 40 years of that movie, and we're going to compare it to other sixth entries in franchises. We're just going to deep dive and get nerdy. It's not going to be a watch party. It's just going to be a straight up celebration. Straight up celebration. What's happening, Aaron? Welcome on in. We got our guy Super Tenor, one of our great channel members there. Hope you are doing very well. Adrian James dropping 10 jewels with a thumbs up. Right back at you, Adrian. Thank you so very much, man. Really do appreciate you. We got one of our fantastic channel members, Miss Tia Nina, in the house. Tia, hope you are doing well. Great to see you. Is it true that you had not seen any of the 3 Chuck Russell movies that are in the poll? I wonder if you've seen any Chuck Russell movie. Have you seen Eraser with Arnold Schwarzenegger? Because I'm pretty sure he did that one. Dream Warriors and Dream Master have the most creative nightmares. That's true. Yeah, the creative deaths and all of the effects are great. We'll celebrate those tonight. How are you doing, Ty? Welcome on in, man. Welcome on in. Who else do we got here? We've got the lovely Miss Jamie Hart. How are you doing, Jamie? Our original Death Squad mod, our mama mod, and a channel member. Jamie, welcome on in. Hope you are doing very, very well. And I hope you're able to stay for the whole movie since we're starting at a more reasonable time, I think, for the East Coast crowd. We are celebrating straight up. Bill Moseley was in the Blob. Who is he in the Blob? Is he a smaller character? I'm not sure. I don't know. Antinous, are there any icons you have not dressed up as? That's what I would go for. If you're looking for something fresh. We got Jigsaw jumping in with a $5 super chat. Jiggy, thank you so very much. One of our great channel members. Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase. Man, I've not heard Hakuna Matata in a really long time. I don't have any kids, so no reason to revisit those movies, really. I obsessively watched Aladdin when it came out. And then I would say my other favorite was when Little Mermaid came out. That changed everything. It changed everything. I was like, I don't care, guys. I love it. I love the Ninja Turtles. I love Dracula, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I love Castlevania, and I love Ariel. Oh my God. I loved her so much. What a good movie. What a good movie. All right, guys, let's go ahead and jump on into, first off, let's just go ahead and take a look at what we've got for Chuck Russell here. I have no idea why it's doing that. Let me figure that out really quick, because that was not part of the program when I had everything set up. I guess I've got to do that. Okay. And when I say that, I know you guys have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay. Here we go. That's so bizarre. So if I change the window size on my side, it changes the window size here. I figured it would have just captured the window no matter what, because I kind of do a split screen thing when I do my watch parties. Anyways, it's just behind the scenes stuff that you guys probably aren't interested in, and I'm just throwing it out there as an excuse. Okay, guys, let's jump on over. Just read a little bit here about our guy, Chuck Russell. So Chuck Russell was born on May 9th, 1952, and he just passed away on the 22nd. So just 8 days ago, he was 74. And as we know, he directed A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, The Blob, The Mask, Eraser, and hey, The Scorpion King as well. I don't think I've seen the Scorpion King movie. I've seen the second Mummy movie that has the Scorpion King in it, but I don't think I've seen any of those Scorpion King movies. That first one might have been the only one that went to theaters. And guys, more recently, he directed the Witchboard remake that just came out last year. All right, here we go. We're just going to read a few paragraphs here just to kind of catch us up with, like, you know, how he came up. So he grew up in Park Ridge, Illinois, or that's where he was born. And he entered the film industry as a production manager and an assistant director on independent films while writing screenplays. So he was just like double working, you know, looking for his opportunity, right? During the production of the film Hell Night, he met writer Frank Darabont. Wow, big name there, with whom he would become a close collaborator. His first script was the 1984 film Dreamscape, directed by Joseph Rubin and starring Dennis Quaid. I remember that one. I remember that, like, poster for Dreamscape at the, you know, video rental place was just, it might have even been a cardboard stand-up. I just remember it was beautiful. Russell made his directorial debut in 1987 with A Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors. At that time, New Line Cinema was uncertain about the future of the Elm Street franchise. Russell convinced them that the series could take a step further into Freddy's nightmare world through advanced visual effects and dramatize the bond among Freddy's youthful victims with the concept of Dream Warriors. The success of that film redefined the franchise for New Line, earning more at the box office than the first two films put together. And then here we go. We're just going to catch up on this last little bit, and then we'll get going with the movie, guys. He went on to write and direct the cult horror film The Blob in 1988, once again stretching the boundaries of visual effects on a limited budget. He then found international acclaim with the blockbuster The Mask, about a bank clerk who discovers an ancient mask that transforms him into a malicious prankster who uses practical jokes to fight crime. Never heard of it. Russell created groundbreaking digital technologies for The Mask with George Lucas's Industrial Light and Magic, combining live action performance with radically new concepts in visual effects. Russell's work earned the film an Academy Award nomination for Best Visual Effects. The Mask also created international stardom for both Jim Carrey and Cameron Diaz. With a production budget of $18 million, The Mask earned more than $350 million in worldwide box office. That's pretty wild. All right, there we go, guys. We have caught up on our guy, Chuck Russell. Let me bring us back on over here. Yeah, I had no idea that, I mean, hustling while doing, you know, whatever he could to be on a crew and then just around the right people. So when he had his scripts ready, he had somebody to hand them right off to. I had no idea that this was his first movie. And the way they make it sound, you know, again, it's Wikipedia, but the way they make it sound is that he sort of, not that they really, you know, they were probably going to make a sequel anyways, but that he kind of came to them with this idea of like, hey, this is where we can take it and make it even cooler. So really cool. And it seems like, I don't know, you know, it doesn't sound like his background is in visual effects, but it sounds like the kind of director he was, is that he was always like, that was something that was really important to him, to have something groundbreaking and fresh and new as far as the visual effects go. Yeah, pretty awesome, pretty forward. Excuse me. God, I got a croupy little something in my throat there. Pretty awesome and pretty forward thinking is what I was going to try to say before I almost coughed up a lung for no reason. I don't know, guys, but I'm going to jump in, make sure I didn't miss anyone on the hellos, and then we'll just get going with the movie here. Let's see who else we got. We got Ryan West hanging out. What's happening, Ryan? One of our great channel members there. We got the fantastic Oracle. Welcome. You've been erased. Yeah, I hardly remember Eraser. Is Vanessa Williams in that one? She is, right? I think she is. Hey there, Matthew. No worries, man. Thank you for jumping in and saying what's up. Yeah, I just remember everyone ripping the effects. You know, I think at that point they were trying to do stuff that was probably only stuff that Star Wars could really kind of get away with. I don't know. It was that odd time. What, it was 2002 when Scorpion King came out. Yeah, the effects they just weren't quite there for everyone. You know, it's tough work. It is tough work. And it was an odd time in film history because it's like, if you did stop motion, then that would have looked weird. It just would have looked out of place. Digital effects is just, you know, what had taken over at that point. And I don't know. From my memory, based on what I've seen when people review them, the Scorpion King, I think the effects aren't even as good as they were in the second Mummy movie. But I could be wrong. Could be wrong. All right, let's see here. There you go. The more you know what I mean? Do, 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 do. Saw both of the OG Mummy movies in theaters. Have not seen Scorpion King. Same, Tia. I saw exact same thing. First two in the theater. I didn't even see. I don't think I saw that third Mummy movie at all. Oh, I don't know. I might have just watched a review for it. I don't think I've seen it. Shannon, welcome on in. Hope you are doing well. One of our great channel members there, Miss Shannon from Talking Star Wars. Okay, here we go. Yes, Leto could give us all the Chuck Russell info we could ever desire. But yeah, I mean, that's the way, James Cameron was working on, small little independent movies as like a, set builder and stuff, just waiting for his opportunity. Okay, let me go ahead and get the stopwatch pulled up here. There we go. Perfect. All right, guys, I'm going to be watching this from, I have one of those Movies Anywhere accounts. So I'm going to be watching it from there. Let's see here. Just want to pull that up. Okay. Going to pause it. Perfect. I'm just going to walk you guys through everything I'm doing here. Going to turn down the volume so it's not too loud. Don't want to be too loud. Would you guys like me to find you a link to watch this, or do you all have your own copy already pulled up? Just let me know. Otherwise, I'm pretty much ready to go here. I saw the light in your window tonight. Jigsaw, thank you so much for the $5. Really do appreciate you. Christine, what's happening, Christine? I'm watching on Movies Anywhere, but I can find a link for you guys. There you go. Aaron's got the Blu-ray queued up. Hope they eventually release an updated Blu-ray set from the recent 4K scan. Yeah, I don't know what they plan to do for that. I don't know what they plan to do for all that. Here, let me find a link for you guys here. I just go through this spot that uses Plex, essentially. So anyone that uses this link, you are going to want to, let's see here. So you're going to have to find your own, like, oh, let me see if I can really get in there. I don't think it'll let me. Yeah. Okay. So this is what I can do for you guys. I'm going to put it over on the YouTube side, and then that way I can pin it into the chat. You are going to want to use like a pop-up blocker or like the Brave browser, just, because it's one of those sites, watch A Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors. Whoa, here. Okay, there we go. So you're just going to have to select a feed. I think if you just push play, it should just automatically bring up a feed for you. So I'll give you guys a sec there if you need to pull that up there. We'll just groove to the tunes. We're just grooving to the tunes, new boot goofing. Well, that's what the site that I go to, that's where it says it's pulling it from. But it might be pulling it from like people that have those things uploaded onto a server. Prince says Look Movie works. I've never used Look Movie. But Prince, welcome on in. No worries, Steph. We're just about to start the movie, okay? We haven't started yet. We're just about to push play. Speaking of which, I will do that. And we'll get your guys' chats up there. So that way, if people come in after the fact or they're watching on a replay, they can see what the heck you guys were saying. I read that originally Wes Craven wanted to have the hot nurse who seduces Joey to have Freddy's head on her body. That would have been pretty killer. They would have been able to do that with digital effects. Yeah, I mean, you'd be able to do that now, easy. I mean, I'm sure they've done similar things, but like Freddy's head on a worm and Freddy versus Jason, weird shit like that. I don't know. The laughing emojis shouldn't give anyone confidence, Prince. If you're trying to convince somebody to do something, the sideways laughing emojis do not build confidence. Just wanted to let you know. Okay, are you guys ready to get this rolling? Let me know. Let me see some thumbs up or some hearts in the chat. Whatever you got, let me know. And we will get this thing cruising. All right, so Shannon likes Look Movie. Or Look Movies, whichever one it is. And are you guys ready? Okay. You're right, Slasher Fred. This is where the bastard son of 100 maniacs. And later, do they say 1,000 maniacs? This also is the beginning of Freddy saying, he says bitch in this maybe once or twice. I mean, at least once, maybe twice. And then moving forward, it's like he says bitch as a tagline on everything. All right, here we go, guys. Let's go ahead and get this thing rolling, like Jiggy says here. All right, I'm going to cut the music, and then we will get cruising. All right, here we go, guys. I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, play. I will hit play on play. How about it? That's how fair I am. All right, here we go, guys. A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors from 1987. Chuck, this one's for you. In 3, 2, 1, play. All right, got that different New Line logo there. The one that as a kid, I was like, oh, are those ladders on the sides of the squares? No, dummy. It's supposed to look like a film strip. What the hell was I thinking? Seriously, what was I thinking? Just a big old dum-dum. Just a big old stupid dum-dum. If I could time travel and go visit myself as a kid, I'd be like, oh, dude, enjoy this while it lasts, bud, because a Robert Shea production. The logo looks cooler on the background, the one that they designed later for designed for the posters. I do love this opening. It's really cool. I love the black background here. The fly sound. I mean, that just makes me think of the Evil Dead, so I'm gonna like that. And by this point in slashers, this kind of became the thing, right? This was the new let's do some sort of montage at the beginning of the movie. It can be creepy, it can be spooky, or it can just be something like this where it's like, what's going on? And then now we pretty much know what's going on. She's making what do they call it in Seinfeld? Papier-mâché. Papier-mâché. Bradley Gregg, the kid who plays Puppet Master Philip, was in Stand By Me. Is he one of the bullies, Billy Judd? I just recently rewatched Stand By Me for the first time in, I don't know, over 20 years. Probably, I think it was like the mid-90s the last time I watched Stand By Me. So yeah, it was right around 30 years ago. We love it. Hey there, David. Welcome on in, one of our great channel members. Catching up on the Scooby-Doo show, the old school. I grew up on that one. Definitely not as good as Where Are You? Oh, gotcha. I mean, I watched those all in syndication. They were all mixed up. So I don't even know what it was from. Shout out to Andrew Badalamenti. Love the music here. And I think Jamie, he worked on Twin Peaks, didn't he? I think he did. Oh my gosh, Steph. Young, dumb, and full of whatever you get when you play with grippy socks too long. This is a pretty ripping song here. Don't know if you know this, but a year later, Heather Langenkamp and Brooke Thies from Dream Master, and who played one of the girls on the bus in part 2, were in a series called Just the 10 of Us. Yeah, you guys stumped me with a Just the 10 of Us question where I had you guys try to stump me in trivia. Because I remember that show a little bit, but barely at all. I wasn't watching it. I was a little kid. So I knew it existed, but I wasn't watching it. Where do you keep the booze? Yeah. She's like, no, this guy makes 6 figures a year. It's the late 80s, so that's basically makes him a millionaire, and I want to get boozed up and I want him to bang the hell out of me. SVC Unleashed says, "Hey, Davey, this is the best of the original Nightmare films and my third favorite. Third favorite film overall. All right. Best of the, I mean, yeah, I guess, and it's crazy. You don't even really have to say best of the original because they just had that remake and that was that. So they only have original films and then a remake, right? It's not as complicated as, well, I guess the only one that's really that complicated is Michael Myers. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a fan of the Edgar Allan Poe stuff. You c Yeah. Patricia, Patricia. Oh, we have fun here. Dry scooping coffee is wild, dude. The instant coffee that you just stir that stuff into water and just drink it, like, you don't need a filter, you've just turned it into, like, chocolate milk. That shit ain't right. That shit ain't right. Oh, interesting. Blue Velvet, another David Lynch connection. It's Angelo, sorry, I said Andrew. Angelo Badalamenti wrote the Twin Peaks music, yes. He worked with Lynch on many things. I looked up his filmography, I guess is, lack of a better word, when I was watching, when I first started watching Twin Peaks, and I was like, "Oh my god, this guy worked on Nightmare." Yeah, there you go, Tia. We will give you we will give Freddie your love, Steph, and then at whatever point, if you can join us, then cool. It should if you click that link, Ryan, but yeah, I don't know if they're on, HBO Max at this point. I really don't know what the streamer is. No worries, Gene, welcome on in. I'm late, but I wanted to say hello. I don't think I've ever seen this one. Gene, if you're at all a fan of, like, 80s slashers or 80s horror, I think you would have a fun time with this one. This is the one that is, like, I mean, indisputably the fan favorite. If you polled every single fan on what's the best, you gave each movie like a point system, basically, this one would easily take the cake. Probably with the first movie right behind it. But yeah, young Patricia Arquette here. I'm not sure if you have it pulled up, Gene. But yeah, very young Patricia Arquette. I think this was her first like meaningful role, or it might have been her first film role. I'm not sure. Nest Cafe right here. Oh yeah. What's happening, Brock Savage? Welcome on in, man. Hope you are doing well. I have not seen Mulholland Drive. Um, that was like early 2000s, something like that, right? Is that Naomi Watts in that one? Instant coffee equals whip. If you know, you know. I don't know. Is that more grippy sock talk? Grippy sock talk. Grippy sock talk. You get your feet on the walls. You get your feet on the ceiling. You get leverage everywhere you go if you wear the grippy socks. Sorry, guys. Oh, clip that one, huh? Somebody clip that one. Damn. She does look tired. They did a good job at making her look tired. And already you can tell that something's off. I just, for whatever reason, with how far away the camera is, I just have a feeling of, just unsettling kind of feeling. Welcome on in, Austin. Oh, gotcha. $4 on Prime. Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. I think there's like plenty of opportunity, Ty, to use computer effects in a nightmare movie, but to rely first and foremost on the practical. But I think a combination, an 80-20 70-30 combo could be pretty cool. And you probably wouldn't even notice the difference if they did it well enough. Oof. It just makes, I just don't like seeing it. I don't know. The effect is effective. Yeah, it's they're pretty awesome, aren't they? Very, very talented family. Here we got a young Lawrence Fishburne. He's like pretty slender here because I don't, I'm sure the dude's got a tummy on him. But like he's just been like a big guy for most of his life. He looks so young there. It must have been unreal, Jamie. I'm super jealous of everyone that got to see this one in the theater. I was just 4 years old. Just started preschool. Kincaid in the padded cell. Got Nurse Ratched here. She's like, I'm the old hag of the movie. I will suck joy from everything. Gotta love that Bill Maher here is just, he just doesn't want some chick walking in on his work. You know what I mean? But honestly, though, the way they set everything up in this movie is like really, really well done. Expanding the lore, the way they build the foundation of everything, the way they set the, stage for what's going on in the hospital. And they don't really waste any time. We get right into it. I think that's the way to go when you're making these sequels too. Jail fun time. I don't know what that means, Steph, but I hope you have a blast. Ooh. Yeah, Larry, don't get slashed up. Oh, that's sweet. I don't know if I noticed that it was a scene from Critters. I actually haven't seen Alone in the Dark, Slasher Fred. Yeah, I need to check that one out. The early 2000s. Why do I want to say like 01, 02, something like that? Hey, what's happening, Shitty Pickle? Welcome on in. Ooh, here we go. We've got Nancy Thompson making her first appearance in the film. And oh boy, guys, Heather looks amazing. The big hair is just framing her face in a beautiful manner. Love the silver streak she's got there on the right side. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. And she looks like a total pro here. The character looks like a pro. My favorite movie of the Elm Street franchise, says Shitty. It's really damn good, Shitty. I love this movie. It's a lot of fun. I think that the first movie's always going to be my favorite because it's the most like serious of them. But this one's really good. I think of this one as like the true sequel to the first movie for sure. I like Freddy's Revenge less and less every time I watch it, unfortunately. Ooh, Hypnosil. Yeah. Why don't you stay out of her personal business, Doc? That's a faux pas. The first time you meet somebody and their pills fall out and you just like grab the pills from there that fell out of their purse and you're just like, let me read this shit. Come on now. I guess he is a doctor. I'm aware that it's not Bill Maher. In fact, I should be like, well, not Bill Maher is hanging out here with Heather Langenkamp. Yeah, no, I totally know it's not him. I know he was acting at this time. He almost looked right at the camera. That was almost a weird little fourth wall break. It's like his eye wanted to look at the camera and he corrected himself right at the last moment. The reboot coming is going to be interesting, says Paula Fitzhenry with a $5 super chat. Paula, thank you so very much. I think we reached our super chat goal. Hell yeah, guys. That's incredible. Thank you so very much. Sometimes you guys just surprise me, as the mighty Bosstones would say, never ceasing to amaze on a regular basis. Duh. We call him the Walker because he sleepwalks. Duh. In all the original 3 movies during the end credits, it says the Elm Street Venture. I don't know. I haven't noticed that. Yeah. So basically, Tia, they're like the last remaining Elm Street kids, and they're all having a really tough time dealing with Freddy. And no one believes them, so they just think that it's a group psychosis. It better be getting one. Yeah. I mean, that will be a huge one. They'll do Fathom events, like every theater will put it back. I think it's a fall movie. I don't know if it was, let's see here. Oh yeah, I got it pulled up here. Let's see here. Thought I had it pulled up. So this one was released, March 1st, 87. March 1st. So we'll celebrate it right around that time. Yeah, I will definitely check this one out in the theater. Hell yeah. I've never seen this one in the theater. So really weird thing. Look, did you notice he's got a tear tattooed on his cheek? Never has it again in the whole movie. It is one of those weird things that I've never been able to figure out what the hell's going on there. I don't know, probably 15 or 16. When I went through, I probably saw it on TV when I was younger. Prince, but like actually got to see it, I would say sometime in high school. Yeah. Like rent the VHS or rent the DVD and watch it with my friends kind of thing. Nurse Wretched is more like it. Yes. Wretched. I mean, he's very nice. I will say that. I think the actor does a really good job. I like Neil as a character. He genuinely cares, but he hasn't experienced everything that these people have experienced. So he's hesitant, understandably. I mean, but he, as everything reveals itself to be true, he accepts it and ends up helping. Welcome to prime time, bitch. Yeah. Oh my God, I love the giant computer. I just love it. A giant computer, and you needed this huge machine just to like scrub through text. You can hear the computer struggling to work. It's picking it up on the microphone. And I guess that was the internet back then. It was just the text, He's Bill Maher and Judge Reinhold's love child, actually. It's very interesting how that worked, They met at Woodstock and had the baby. Yeah. Definitely not Bill Maher. Yeah. I love that I said it in such a convincing way that you guys thought that I really thought it was Bill Maher. I'm at the point of my fandom with this movie where now I just casually will just call him Bill Maher. There's got to be other characters that I do that with in horror franchises. What are some others where I just call the person who they look like? Yeah. Not Bill Maher. This is my favorite horror movie, period, says Austin. Damn. Period, paragraph, end of chapter. That's a sound effect of you closing a really heavy book, Austin. Every light in the house is blown. I keep on clapping, but they won't clap on. So what, that should be fishing line pulling that thing? Jiggy, thank you so very much for the fiver, man. Really do appreciate you. You did not have to do that. I love the steamy, melty bike. Oh, did I just see like a zap of electricity on the back wheel? Is that how they did that? Or did they just have that thing wired up? Hell yeah, you guys are amazing. His name is Craig Wasson, but I can see the resemblance to Bill Maher. His name is Craig Wasson. I'm doing the Fight Club thing now. Wait, was a good character. Oh no, does Joey die? The Flies, man. It is, every time I hear it, it's like I'm starting up an Evil Dead movie. Hell yeah. You guys are amazing. Thank you. You know, it's the 80s. You gotta have the shoulder pads. Women must look like, from their shoulders to their waist has to be a triangle, you know, pointing down. That's right. I love how Zsa Zsa Gabor is only in this because Robert doesn't like her. Is that really why they got her in here? Is that really this whole scene? Okay, so like this room is rigged up beautifully. I mean, obviously it's a set, but it still looks great. Looks believable. Dirty walls because it's a Nightmare on Elm Street, so you have to have dirty walls, of course. But I love how this is rigged up for like a haunted house. These are the kinds of practical effects they could do amazing effects like this still to this day. They're expensive, but so is everything else. Yeah, I mean, this is like what you were saying, Ty, like even stuff like that. You know, they did that kind of stuff in Evil Dead Burn, some of the better stuff from Evil Dead Burn. Oh, dude, and the snake Freddy eating her. You take instant coffee, crushed up toffee candies, and a little water, whip it up. Takes a hot minute, but you eat it and you have a sugar rush. Oh, gotcha. There were kids when I played football in youth football league out in Juneau. There were kids that would take half and halves and put a packet of sugar in a half and half and shake it up and drink it before games. Probably did nothing for them, but they liked the sugar. Gene, welcome on in, guys. We got Gene Whitacombe hanging out. Hope you're doing very, very well, Gene. Always a pleasure to see you. And here we get that you moment. And man, the articulation on this puppet is gorgeous. Like that is some really good shit, some really creative stuff there. And we get a glimpse into, you know, Kristen's power. The gray streak is hot. It is, it's pretty hot. I will say this to any of the ladies out there, if you're going gray, just go for it. You know who has silver hair? Superheroes. Superheroes have silver hair. Silver hair is awesome. Welcome on in, Ryan. Hope you're doing well. Much love right back at you, brother. Thank you so much for being a channel member. Yeah, it was a HIPAA violation. Exactly. All right, I'm going to catch up a little bit more here on the chat. Yeah, that's a really good one. I think that one's coming up here pretty soon. These are my sons, Walker and Texas Ranger. I want to see Ari Millen play Freddy if he's good in Ice Cream Man. Oh, is that the guy playing Ice Cream Man? I have no idea who he is. Is he like a, would I know him from anything else, Gav? Is he a comedic actor? Is he a cholo? Which one? I need to, oh, with the teardrop. Yeah, it's not on his face anymore. Watch, they'll show him and it ain't there. That would be cool. That would be cool. I just saw a 3D movie today. I saw the new Spider-Man movie. That'll be super cool. Taryn's hot. I'm just gonna say it. And Ira Hayden, who's there in the wheelchair, um, super sweet guy. I'm gonna be a big star. Oh my gosh, Kincaid, come on. Maybe the teardrop represents he tried to kill somebody, but they lived, so they took the teardrop back. Yeah. Yeah, see, he doesn't have it there. He had it in the other scene. What is I know it's it's like at the beginning, they were like, "Oh, he's gonna be yeah, he just got out of jail for killing someone," you know? I am loving all of the late '80s decor. Oh my god, yeah. This one's very '80s, very MTV. The next one's probably more MTV, I would say, but this is the beginning of it. Yeah. Yeah, Chuck knows what he's doing with the camera. I mean, between the 3 movies that we've had in that poll to decide from, like, all really good movies and pretty different. Even though The Blob and this movie are both horror movies, they're pretty different kinda horror movies. And, I mean, very different as far as, like, story goes, too. Kincaid with his "Now my dick's trying to kill me." Oh my god, Scary Terry, yeah. Yeah. And so we got not Bill Maher here hanging out with, Heather Langenkamp. The guy in Final Destination 2, I call him Most Def. Oh, I love that. I love that. I know there are these characters out like almost every slasher movie has somebody that I will refer to as someone else. And of course, in the middle of the stream while I'm watching this movie, I can't think of any of them. Of course. Of course. That one is coming up pretty soon. I think that's our next kill, Steph. You white, you Ben Affleck. Role models. Yeah, that's good shit. Rebel Sky, welcome on in. One of our great channel members right here, dropping a $2 super chat. Thank you so very much. Davey Deathray, your thumbnail is the GOAT. Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, guys, we have plenty of trolls and, people who unfortunately don't have any creative hobbies in their lives that like to give me a tough time about my thumbnails or whatever. It's fun. That's just part of being in the public. I love that you guys love them. And what I've noticed is the people that hate my thumbnails that have any sort of like AI, like, yeah, I've used Copilot for some of my stuff, whatever. They never hop on over to the thumbnails that I make from scratch and say nice things. Is it that nice though? I mean, let's seriously. They always put them at booths in movies. You'll sit at a 7-person booth, it'll be 2 people. And if I were wearing what he's wearing there at dinner, I would be sweating bullets. A sweater over a button-up long sleeve? Oof, I hope it's winter. Yeah, this movie is pretty awesome. I wish we knew Philip's dream power. Do all of them have them though? I don't know if Philip has one. Have you guys played the NES game? The Nightmare on Elm Street NES game? It's pretty much based on this movie. Like they don't get too into the story, but they use when you go into the dream world, you can use dream powers that you've collected. They have like an acrobat, a ninja, and a wizard. Hell yeah, Austin. Hell yeah. Now so more really good storytelling here. I mean, it's expositional dialogue, but they found a way to like every time these 2 characters are having to chat about what's going on and having to have a confrontation about it, they know each other a little bit more each time. They trust each other a little bit more each time. But it's a really interesting dance to watch the characters go through. And it's really well written. And I would say that taking a step out of being a horror fan for a minute, like it's really well written for horror. You know what I mean? Like there's a reason why these movies did so well. And yes, the effects bring you, Freddy brings you, but the reason why some of these movies have a way better legacy and are seen as way better in the eyes of the fans, I have no doubt that the story plays a big part in that as well. Because the story keeps you coming back. Me and shoulder pads at 13 was hilarious. What was I thinking? You just wanted to fit in. You know what I mean? Hot take: men shouldn't survive horror movies. Why? Why not? This is a really cool, that's a really good effect. It's a really good digital effect. His fucking polka dot boxers. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think it should. So if you did that, then there's no surprises, right? I just think it should be different kind of every time. I mean, traditionally, it would be like women surviving. Maybe every now and then a guy survives with the girl. Very rarely is it just a guy. Joey does die in Dream Master. You should check it out. Yes. Dick Cavett didn't like Zsa Zsa Gabor. That's why he wanted her as the guest he kills. Gotcha. That's pretty good. I've never seen any Dick Cavett. I'm just like a little too young for that, I think. Well, they trick you into, like, he uses a dream version of the mom, right? But I don't think he can kill the mom unless he gets into the real world, right? Because Freddy doesn't get into grown-ups' dreams. Or, I mean, if a grown-up doesn't believe in them, he can't get in there. I always took the shoulder pads out when I wore women's clothes too. So I totally get you. Hey, it's no more dumber than acid wash. Hawaiian print jams? That sounds, I mean, you mean when you say jams, you mean like pajamas? Oh, shorts. Gotcha. I didn't even know that. Jam must be a brand. Guys, I am woefully out of touch, clearly. Shake to the left, pump up kicks. Just go, just do it. Just make it all gray. It would look badass. Seriously, superheroes. Like Storm has gray hair. Storm looks awesome. Seriously, superheroes have silver hair. It's fucking dope. I don't know if you guys, for any of you that saw my most recent video, the franchise ranking for Evil Dead, there's this bit of gray. I think, is it over here or is it, smacking my mic around? I can't remember. I think it's over here. I had no idea. And then I'm editing the video and I'm like, oh my God, I got a big old thing of gray hair right there. Splashing silver the whole time. This actress that plays Taryn does such a good job of like wearing the strung out kind of vibe. And that's a really cool sweater that Patricia has on. Like that's still fat. Like if you wore that today, it would be a-okay. I love tearing scenes like this apart. Which one were we? Oh, it was about 10 minutes ago. Were we at when they were eating dinner? I mean, you just gotta own it. Sweet. I'm looking forward to Ice Cream Man quite a damn bit. Like I think it's gonna be, it's right up my alley. Ice Cream Man, that's the kind of horror movie I need at least one of those a year. Is it I thought is it Taryn? I thought it was Taryn. Am I saying it wrong? Is it actually Tara? I always thought it was Taryn, which I love that those names, those old like English, Irish kind of sounding names. Taryn. Okay. Um, I didn't know she was a rainbow flag icon. Gay bear. I didn't know that at all. Is the character supposed to be gay? Hmm. I just thought she was kind of a punk rock icon. Feld dog is no, dude can't act. He's lost the chops. Yeah. No, Brock, that is somebody that probably already put in the right answer. Yeah, Rennie Harlan is the one who did that, or Harlan. He did like Deep Blue Sea. He did the Dream Master. So that's what you're getting it confused with. Yeah, I think the NES game's really good. Rareware did that one for LJN. It's one of the few LJN games. It's funny I talked about it just like yesterday or the other day. A Nightmare on Elm Street and the Jaws game I both really like, and the Friday the 13th game is fun if you know what you're doing, which I didn't know when I was a kid. So I liked playing it because Jason was in it, but it's really tough if you don't have a guide. I'm sure you know all about that, Dane. It's so good, Ryan. It's really good, and it's one of the few that was a legit 4-player game. Philip's death. I mean, there are so many iconic deaths in this one. The one with the TV is iconic for, a few different reasons as well. You are a nerd, Shitty Pickle. The best kind of nerd. First horror movie I can think of where the guy survives and the girl dies of the hitcher. That is heartbreaking in that movie. That's fucking crazy. Well, yeah, and they just don't believe in him, right? You have to believe in him, or there has to be that sliver of doubt. Yeah, Rogue's got the gray hair streak as well. Pretty hot. I think it works for Mr. Fantastic as well. Reed Richards. Mr. Fantastic in bed. This guy is grade A sleaze. What a piece of shit. Total garbage. Can't stand this dude. First off, inappropriate anyways. Second off, to throw her addiction in her face to try to get her to do whatever you want is added gross. No, you're cool. I just want to make sure. I was like, fuck, am I saying it wrong? Because every now and then, every now and then. Gay bear. Yeah, this guy's just an asshole. Smoking on the job. I guess in the 80s you could do that. But I guess this guy probably just goes around trying to find the person that he thinks is the weakest to, not gay, but she is honorary. Oh, just because she wears plaid? Well, from like 1985 through like 1997, wearing plaid was, it just, it was just what people were doing. It was just what people were doing. I've only seen the first one, and I think it's excellent. Shannon wants Michael Levy as Freddy. He's been out there campaigning. I would love it if Michael had an actual acting resume. I think I would feel a lot better about it. He seems to have the voice and the mannerisms and the look, but does he have the actual chops? I don't know. Robert Englund was or is classically trained, since he was like 12 years old. So not to get technical, but Reed and Rogue have white streaks. Well, it's the same thing. It's, you know, Yeah. Well, and he probably already played that game. Oh, yeah. He's probably he gives off vibes like this is just what he does, is just finds, new patients to take advantage of. Oh, gotcha. Oh, the punk rock look? Yeah. Nothing gay about punk rock. Well, it's funny, I guess you go back to like the original term of what the word punk meant. Kind of makes sense, I guess. Here we go. We got the TV kill. I mean, the robotics are super cool. The puppetry's awesome. I think that, yeah, that's even a classic. I just had to be quiet and enjoy it. Just looking like a big old dum dum. Clearly, it was a throw yourself into a TV suicide. There was nothing else we could have done. She just ran up to the TV and jumped and like actually just sat there. Her head just kept her in there. Thank you, Jamie. Hey, you're just gonna get randoms every now and then, right? Yeah, back to back classic kills. We've got Neil talking to Freddy's mom. Yeah, I'm Freddy Krueger's mom. Yes, yeah. I've never been out to Riot Fest. I mean, I would love to go. Yeah, looks like a fun time. I think the biggest thing I've done like that, Brock, is they have one in Portland on the waterfront. I can't even remember what they called it. But there was like one of those where like Diane Ward played on one giant stage and then on the other side of this massive field, like after they ended their set, like Iggy Pop went on. It was just like, big acts like that. Not as big as Riot Fest, but you know, as big as Portland could get. Yeah, it's a great morning outfit. And they're acting like they're a couple. They have known each other for 3 or 4 days, and boom, they are like straight up like, so when's the U-Haul coming on over, Nancy? Thanks for making me food I didn't eat. Now she's gonna go get on TikTok and make a video while she's putting on makeup about like how she made this man a meal, and this man who didn't do anything, rejected the meal. And she's probably going to be doing the bird hands thing and more makeup, or she's in her car, something like that. I don't know. Maybe I was foolish to think I could have had a show called Politically Incorrect. I don't know. Dang. Yeah, I totally get that, Aaron. No worries, man. Yeah, it's a pretty good list there. Yeah, Greg from the Bouncing Souls played my basement when I lived in Portland. He and his wife Shanti played, and Kevin Seconds and Kepi Gooley all played in my basement. They all came together on a tour. It was pretty awesome. That's a really good lineup. Sam I Am. I've never seen them live. I love their records. You Are Freaking Me Out and Astray. Those two, especially the Billy, the very very early Sam I Am is really good too. They sound a lot more like Jawbreaker on that early stuff. Yeah, he's not wrong about that remark there. They did get away with a lot more in the 80s. You know, they had closed circuit television and stuff in the 80s, Paula, but usually just on like outside doors, and not every place had it. So, yeah, creepazoids like that guy, it was a lot easier to be a creep. That's pretty awesome. That's a really good record. That song Dole, mm, really good stuff. Welcome to prime time, bitch. I mean, Nancy's outfit here totally rocks. You know, like the peach, the necklace, and the heather gray blazer. I mean, come on. I don't even mind the shoulder pads there. Saw a 5-year-old in a Misfits tee today at the movies, and my heart melted, and then you were like, "Name 3 songs." You fucking 5-year-old poser, bitch. How about name 3 singers from the Misfits? You could do that too. Mhm. I'm carrying your love with me. Is that what you're is that the song? I had to look at it for a second, Jiggy. Man, Patricia Arquette looks legitimately tired at this. She's like, "Can I just go home?" Like, do you go full method if you're an actor in a Nightmare on Elm Street movie? Do you go full method and just deprive yourself of sleep on purpose? Love that name, Taryn. I just dig it. Isn't it the name of the kid from the Black Cauldron? Isn't his name Taryn? Taryn, but it's Taran. Gotcha. Yeah, that movie's awesome. That one's pretty gnarly. Yeah, I think Dream Master is totally underrated. Kinda, yeah. I think Jane Levy had a really tough time sleeping when they made Evil Dead 2013. It was just like it was physically exhausting. The hours were really weird, and Fede would like make her run around in circles before they shot some of those like more intense scenes. He would like get her heart rate up just naturally. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think that's a real thing, you know, getting either being so consumed by the character or just living in the production because those hours are so long that at some point it might stop feeling like summer camp and starts feeling like you're losing it. But I guess that makes for good performance. I don't know. If I were ever fortunate enough to act in something, I would like to find whatever way to lose myself in the performance for sure. One of my bros has the biggest crush on Jane Levy. She is just cute as a button. I mean, she is beautiful. Don't get like, she absolutely is. But I think there's like a cuteness factor there too, where you're just like, oh my god, she's so friggin' adorable. Like I want to take care of her. Not like she can't. No, not like that. I just want her to have someone that cares for her. She's got that look, very girl next door. Another Lynch connection. She was in Lost Highway. Yeah. I have an obsession and I'm sick in the head. Hey, you know what? At least you're aware of it, right, Jamie? She's not in this movie, Paula. She's in Evil Dead 2013. She plays Mia, the main character. She's on a TV show. I don't think it's going on anymore, but it was called Zoe's Infinite Playlist. She's really good. No, not Bill Maher. You just think you're still in the group. Mm-hmm. Let's go, Wizard Master. Huge round 80s glasses. Yes. The tortoise shell, like the light tortoise. Yeah. And Rosanna, right? She was famous before either one of them were, I think. Because she was in, God, what was she in the mid, Suddenly Seeking Susan? I think in the mid 80s. And she like hosted SNL. And I mean, she's been in a whole bunch of other stuff too. Wasn't she in Pulp Fiction? Didn't she play the girl with all the facial piercings in Pulp Fiction, or does that girl just look like Rosanna? Oh, yeah, because they brought in a whole bunch of ringers, didn't they? Shannon, they're really good. I mean, if you like horror that like pushes boundaries on gore, then you're gonna have fun. Oh yeah, that's very. Oh great, guys! Alert! We've got titties. I mean, they're fake, but they look pretty good. They look, I'm not here to judge. I just, everyone's got their preference, right? Sorry, guys. I'm just out of it for a moment. Yeah, you can clearly tell that Vecna is, very much based on Freddy. Hey, and speaking of which, Jamie Bauer Campbell, or is it Jamie Bauer? Is that what his name is? He's in the Witchboard movie that Chuck Russell directed last year. It's all true. It's all true. Campbell Bauer. I don't know why I can't remember that. It's not in alphabetical order. That's what I need to remember. Freddy looks fucking great in this movie. I don't know what happened with his voice there. What was that? Anyone that's watching, what happened to his voice where it's just like tongue-tied, and it was like this high-pitched weird voice and a weird high-pitched laugh. Yeah, I think Alexis was in Bride of Chucky. I think Alexis plays the goth guy in Bride of Chucky. Oh yeah, the Boy George lookalike in Wedding Singer. Yeah. Oh man, Kevin McAllister got a hold of that doorknob. Look out. Hey, what's happening, Kevin? Different Kevin, guys. Kevin Ketchy here. What's up? Just finished my 1000th rewatch of the Blair Witch Project for its 27th birthday. Is that one of your favorites, Kevin? I've only seen that movie like twice. Once in the theater and then once, on VHS after it came out. I know I'm always going to mess it up. And now I'm like messing it up out of spite. Again, this is probably the same like room. They just dressed it up and have it, made for different things, but really cool practical stage effects here. It's okay. We can celebrate Kevin's birthday today too. What's going on in here? Nothing. They just hit from the opium pen. Leave him alone, Jamie Campbell Soup. That's actually the way I'll remember it now. I'll be like, it's not Campbell Soup, it's Campbell Bauer. Boom. Notorious. Blair Witch Project is your favorite film. That is fascinating to me. Oh my gosh, I want to hear so much. Kevin, do you make videos about that kind of stuff? I'm very curious. Very curious. I just said that. I just said, Slasher Fred, do you have me muted? How dare you? Let's see here. Imagine if Freddy didn't reveal himself as the nurse till after you, but oh my gosh. Busted one. Oh, that was a double sneeze. Ooh, double sneeze. Not bad. Not bad at all. It's all true. You just gotta slap him out of this coma, right? Just smack him around like from Airplane, you know? Neil's all fired. I love when people get fired at a job in a movie or a TV show, they can always fit everything in one box. It's incredible. It's incredible. James' initials are in order backwards. I don't know. Jamie Campbell Bower. That's how I'm going to remember it. That's how I'm going to do it. Is it Amanda Krueger? Is that Freddy's mom's name? Yes, let the hate flow through you. I don't know if I've ever seen Desperately Seeking Susan. I was just a little kid when it came out. So like I can picture the poster and everything like that, but I don't know that I've ever seen it. That's pretty awesome, man. Hell yeah. Are you going to make your own Blair Witch movie, Kevin? I still need to see 976 Evil. Never seen that one. Whoa. This is a strange place for a random encounter. Sister? Did you bring protection? Hello. Top 5 films: Blair Witch Project, It from 1990, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, Halloween H2O, and Jaws. It's true. They are in reverse alphabetical order. Is this where it began? I thought where it began, though, was in like the room that we see at the beginning of the next movie. I love RZ's H2. I'm sure you know that already, Kevin. And of course, you know I love Jaws. As they should be. As they should be. Yeah. It was a crazy scandal. Yikes. Ugh, this story is not fun. Hundreds of times. Poor Amanda Krueger. Poor Amanda Krueger. Good God, y'all. Sorry, guys. I'm just stuck in the drama of the moment. Neil is getting the full revelation. And it's kind of cool. You know, Nancy got the revelation in the first movie from her mom. Here, Neil is learning something more about the lore. Nancy doesn't happen to be there. I kind of like how they have it's like team A, team B in the movie. And then, of course, you know, it all from this moment on kind of converges to the end of the movie. I mean, gosh, we only have like 35 minutes left. That's wild. If your only faith is science, doctor, it may be you that's laid to rest. Oh, damn. Oh, shit. It's like Bad Religion says, faith alone can't sustain us anymore. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's really good. It is really good. It's so much better than his first movie. It just as far as like it justifies its own existence a lot more than his first movie. Every time I watch one of these, I have to watch the next one, then bounce to a Jason movie. Yeah, I mean, watching part 4 right after this, a really good 1-2 punch. We have characters that bleed over even though we don't get Patricia back. We still have, Kristen, you know, in the next movie for at least a little bit. And that's what this series does well, actually, is passing of the baton. Does it pretty well. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, the slashing on the chest is done really well. My drunk dad, let's go. John Saxon is just a treasure, an absolute treasure. Yeah, it's definitely got a little bit of that wild side. That's just Rob, and it is pretty trippy. I like where they go with it. I think it's like a pretty interesting direction for Halloween. I don't love every single thing in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, but most of it really works for me, and the stuff that works really, really works. Yeah, it's true. I mean, I guess what she got in return was to be able to come back as a spirit and try to help defeat the demon that her son has become. Yeah, here we go. If you're watching along right now, Tia, then you see him on your screen. Hey, you come and see Daddy? I'm a big security guard at the mall. I drive around on a golf cart. He's got high life. He's poured it into a glass, so classy. And he's got a little shot. Yeah, he's taking care of himself. When people like sip part of a shot in a movie, it cracks me up. They just sip from their shot glass. No one does that. Do people do that? I've never seen anyone do that. Sip from a shot glass? Never. Yeah, come on, Dad. It's time to buck up, bro. Hey, what's happening there, Daniel? Welcome on in, man. Super late, but hello over on the Twitchy. Welcome on over from the Twitchy side. And the AI people want us to know they're watching on Twitch too. Do I like the puppet death scene? What do you mean specifically? The puppet death scene? Just the way that they pull off Freddy's death? Is that what you're talking about? I mean, I love. I think the effects are really good here. I just want to make sure I'm talking about the right thing here. But yeah, I mean, I don't have any issue with the effects. All the puppetry and all the um like robotics, kind of work that they're using here is really good. Favorite horror movies taking place inside an inpatient ward. I mean, there's not many, right? As far as like horror movies go, I don't know. Trying to think of another one. Sometimes it can be tough when I'm on a live stream to just free associate, think off the top of my head. Really, I can only think of a few horror movies. I mean, oh, gotcha. You're talking about Philip. Yeah, yes. Um, I don't know why I couldn't figure out that's what you were talking about. I was like, well, the snake thing at the beginning, the Freddy snake thing is a puppet. They probably use, I mean, the primetime bitch is a puppet that they're using. So I didn't, yeah, I get it. You're talking about the Philip death scene. Yeah, I mean, I think that one's great. It's pretty wild. There was part of it that kind of confuses me. That we don't see any of the physical damage represented on Philip, but he thinks he's being held by his tendons, but he's really not being held by his tendons. It was bizarre. but it's a great effect. Especially Freddy up there behind the clock tower, like snipping the strings. That is just that whole image of the clock tower with him looming giant. He's just got like Dracula vibes there, like super old, mythological horror villain vibes. Some juicy Elm Street rumors that discussing film just posted on Twitter. Oh yeah. Interesting. Can we trust discussing film? Can we? Let's see what they put on Twitter, guys. I'll bring it up while we're watching Nancy drive to the scene here. What are we doing? Hey, you're taking away my booze. You're taking away my booze. Let's see what discussing films got. Warner Brothers and Paramount are in a heated race on which Nightmare on Elm Street remake will be deeper in development before the merger closes. Warner Brothers film has Lee Cronin in talks to direct. Paramount's film will be a shot-by-shot remake with the blessing of Wes Craven's estate. So there's two movies that are being made simultaneously. If that's really what they're doing, I think they're kind of fucking up. I think it's going to cheapen if that's true, heated race. The last thing I want when anyone's making a movie is a race. It doesn't bode well for either movie. How many movies have we heard about that it was a rushed production and man, everything turned out great? I mean, every movie has like its own woes and all that kind of stuff. But I didn't even know that. The funny thing is they want to do it before the merger happens. The merger could happen by 2028, right? That means they need to have like the script done right now. But I'm gonna have to talk about that and cover it here on the channel. Thank you for the heads up, Dylan. Appreciate you, man. Cult of Chucky, that's a good one. Yeah, I did like that one. I mean, I like the one before it more, but Cult of Chucky's fun enough. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a really cool look, and then they just composite the two together. Yeah, it's really, really good. Shot by shot remake would be super dumb. Yeah. And then, I mean, yeah, I guess Lee Cronin, because he was talking about wanting to do it. I don't know. I'm very hesitant to believe that until we see it from a more reputable source. I know discussing film, sometimes they're right and sometimes they're not. Yeah. I mean, I've seen them post things that later on get confirmed, and then sometimes they post things that are just bogus and never get confirmed. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that either. I'm like, Lee Cronin, don't you already have a mummy thing going on? You know? Yeah. I don't want him there either. Yeah, we need someone that's just I don't know. Lee Cronin's style is more like camera up close Evil Dead style. I think we need somebody that's got a bit more of a vision creatively. Because we want the dream stuff to be really cool and trippy and different, you know? You something that feels familiar, but they're still able to find a way to approach it in a creative manner that kind of puts their own spin on it. I don't know. I don't think Wes had anything to do with that sequel with, Freddy's Revenge. I don't think he had anything to do with it. I mean, they had to give him credit for the Freddy character and stuff, but I don't think he was involved in the creative side. Yeah, me neither. Yeah. I've not heard any good things about the ward, unfortunately. Okay. That's kind of a cool way to do it, like, the kids unknowingly bring him back. Okay. Let's go kick the motherfucker's ass all over Dreamland. There's a really there's a sweet smoothness to Kincaid's voice. I'm just putting the quote up there. I can't sing through the whole thing, Jiggy, but it would just break my heart if I don't show your chats up here. You're so sweet and supportive and so awesome. Yeah, I don't want him doing Nightmare either, though, but I think he is better. Yes, Shannon, it's all true. It's all true. Curry, it would be cool. Like, I think TCM is better suited. Like, they're better suited for each other. Yeah. Okay, so do you want a director with movies under his name, or are you okay with a newer director doing it, but as the vision fans might like? I mean, at least you want to have them at least a movie or two under their belt, right? Just to show that they know how to like make, um, stay on schedule, work with the studio, whatever, and work with actors well. So yeah, I wouldn't want it to be just a straight up first timer. Um, I probably have the most unpopular take on A Nightmare on Elm Street. I would like to see. I mean, I would prefer it if this guy just kept on writing his own stuff because he's one of my favorite filmmakers working right now. But I think Damian McCarthy could do a really good job of A Nightmare on Elm Street. He's shown that he can handle folklore really well, and Freddy is sort of like modern suburban folklore. So it'd be a really cool way to have him kind of reinvent it, He hasn't done anything that's like A Nightmare on Elm Street, and I think that's another reason why I like it too. I just know he writes and directs really, really well and is a hell of a storyteller. Not every Halloween, but I dressed up as him when I was in like 4th grade, and then I don't know, a whole bunch of times as an adult. Yeah, the movie is going, Paula. We are about let's see here, an hour, and we're 1 hour, 11 and a half minutes in. Yeah. So we've got about 20 or so minutes left. But yeah, Paula, it's like it's looping back to the beginning, right? It's very similar to that first scene. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know what the hell they're gonna do. That's a really good digital effect with the green screen and then the practical appliance on the neck. Really good work. Love Freddy in Freddy in a tux or bow tie with a suit here, and then we see him in Dream Master. I think he's dressed up as like a server, but he's wearing like a tux. It's a good look. It's a good look for old Fred. Oz is great, dude. I mean, visually speaking, Oz to me is the most like compelling filmmaker from like a behind the camera sort of standpoint. Yeah. I mean, Oz, there's who else was I just thinking of? Damn it. I mean, I mentioned it just the other night. Obviously Kane Parsons has Backrooms going, but I think he's got the creativity and the kind of mind for it, but I don't think he would do it because he's got Backrooms going. Hell yeah. Thank you so much, Daniel. I appreciate that. I mean, I'm not against like Mike Levy doing it or anything like that. He's put out those really like his videos on Instagram. It's very convincing. It is just sort of like there's a big difference between doing a 2-minute video on Instagram and then having to play Freddy in a feature length film. Um, you know, yeah, she's awesome as a punk rocker. I love it. I love the outfit, love the hair. Cleavage, I'll take that too. I'll take that. If you had to end an Elm Street film, how would you defeat Freddy? I'd actually let him win for once. I don't know. How do you defeat him, right? He's a dream demon. I just don't know what you do. Because everything you do in the dream, like, so you have to bring him into the real world. I'd bring him in the real world and I'd put him in the hospital and strap him into a bed and have him get experimented on for, for all time, essentially. Yeah, flip the script. I will always think David Howard Thornton should be Freddy. What does he sound like? Like, I don't even know what his voice sounds like. But yeah, I mean, he's got the look for sure. And he's a really good mime. So he'd be able to pull off the physicality and everything of Freddy. That's a really great shot there. Ira walking down the hallway. That's a beautiful shot. The blue light in the background looks amazing. A light peach light there around the waistline. And of course, dirty walls. It's a Nightmare on Elm Street. Dirty walls are a prerequisite. Yeah. Guaranteed, required, all that kind of stuff. And wow. This is the kind of wheelchair that looks like it's going to put you in a wheelchair once you're done. And it's very huge. I don't know, man. Have you seen Jared Bankins? Jared Bankins. What about Paul Bailey? Have you guys seen Paul Bailey's work? He does makeup, appliances, puts them on himself, does all the lighting, all the camera work, plays Freddy. His demos are unreal. He looks exactly like Freddy from pretty much this movie and Freddy's Revenge. The Terran kill is your favorite one? Oh, you mean with the Wizard Master here? Oh, I'm glad they didn't do that. That would have been weird for her head to explode. That would have been strange. Yeah. See, that should kill him, right? That should actually do something. Because that's the thing about the lore in this movie is like, how come no one else's powers matter in the dream world? I guess we find out later that he actually is possessed by demons and they're not. Okay, fair enough. But it is too bad that they just get knocked off. Like they have these powers and it's like, nah, sorry, doesn't matter still. You're just going to die anyway. Yeah, and I don't know if I've ever heard those. I guess I should check them out. Wait, is he one of those guys that started out doing like videos on the internet where he would just do a bunch of impressions? Like, did he go kind of viral before he was even Art the Clown? She's pretty good. Yeah. Amazing rack too. Probably the most impressive one in both franchises. Eyes exploding. Okay. I mean, if they like oozed out the liquid, that would be cool. Eyes exploding or a head exploding could look silly. Love that there's just this door that gets dropped. This is just a cool, like, kind of a Lovecraftian sort of thing, right? Floating door. Something you'd see in like Hellraiser or Super Mario Brothers 2. 25 years ago, it might have been able to work. Yeah. I thought he was pretty good in Pinocchio Unstrung. I've heard some of these comparisons before, yes. Yeah. Leto, gosh, he had one for each of the big three. I can't remember exactly how he laid it all out, but it was like Michael Myers is like Dracula because he's like the father. He did like Father, Son, and Holy Ghost kind of thing. Jason was the son, so Jason was Frankenstein's monster, and then Freddy was, what was the one he said for Freddy? Was it the werewolf or something? I don't know. I can't remember. I'm going to fuck it up. I'll wait for Leto to be in here. The next time he's in here, I will ask him about his horror movie holy trilogy, or horror villain holy trilogy, trinity, whatever. Yeah, Paul Bailey's work is really good. Yeah. I need more glove kills, to be honest. Not enough in the later ones. Yeah, I mean, I figured like they just probably wanted to get away from the slashing because it was just so easy. And I think what happened as well, Austin, is A Nightmare on Elm Street became the franchise that people sought out who were in the effects business wanting to come up, and even directors that were wanting to come up. Chuck Russell, Rennie Harlan, like, you know, even shit, what's his face? Who's the guy that did the part 2? Same kind of thing. Like, these are directors that weren't really names that were trying to, make it in the biz. Jack Shoulder is the one that did Freddy's Revenge. Yeah, I've never met David. I mean, I've seen things, quotes of things he said. He seems about as weird as, a lot of people in show business, I guess. Not even surprised anymore, Ryan. Did theater and plays Joker in a fan film. Okay. As was, yeah, dude, Stream was rough. That movie was rough. Oh my God. I don't think I've seen the mean one. I watched the other stupid Christmas movie, the one that has like the worst. It's like an imitation of a Kevin Smith script with a bunch of fuck words in it. What is it called? Oh my God, it's one with the robotic Santa. It's actually really fun. Like, I'm smiling because it's so dumb, but it's like dumb in a fun way. I can't remember what the hell that one was called. Christmas, Bloody Christmas. Yeah. Yeah, I dig it too. Yeah, the supernatural stuff is the way to go. Like, especially with Freddy, like, you might as well play into it. It reminds me of Super Mario Brothers 2. I did, yeah. Yeah, I heard about that. It's pretty fun. Yeah, it's not like high art or anything, but it's pretty fun. Dude, yeah, it's atrociously long and incredibly low budget. Um, it's like watching a fan film that insists on being over 2 hours long. Well, duh, but no one, everyone knows that the icon from the movie is the monster or the creature. If that makes you feel any better. They could do a dentist kill. Yeah. Any place where you get put to sleep. Surgeon kill, dentist kill, anything like that, that would work. Freddy well, I guess we've seen Freddy on a plane before, or when Freddy's dead. But you could open up a movie with somebody on a plane, or dentist, whatever. Church, falling asleep at church. We've all done that. It is. It runs maybe 10 minutes too long, but it's damn fun. Yeah. I was blown away that they're getting a sequel. It's just so long. Oh my, I couldn't believe. I remember at one point when I was watching it thinking, "Oh, we got to be getting near the end now," and there was like an hour left. Choir Boy Freddy. The moaning faces on Freddy's chest that just disappear. When he puts the shirt down, we don't hear them moan. No. oh. Freddy's kind of like how they depict the Grim Reaper in Scrooged, a Richard Donner film starring Bill Murray. Yeah, the design's great. Could you fall asleep at the opera, though? It's got to be plausible. Oh, John Saxon. Let me see if I can pop my neck, guys. Oh, not quite. Not quite. Maybe I can do it this way. There we go. A little neck pop. No big deal. No big deal. So excited. My inbox was full of emails because everyone's been gifting me pre-orders of Jason Universe NECA figurines. I'm joking. No, I'm very like I love the work that NECA does, but I'm very selective with the figures I get just because, you know, don't need to have everything. So you want the Freddy's revenge because that breaks lore though for Freddy. If Freddy comes into the real world, then he's exposed, right? So, or you just want the people falling asleep in a crowd. That's what you mean? And you just want the kill to just like look almost like an invisible kill, like we see the dream version of it, but in the real world we just see the aftermath, like the blood explosion. No, not at all. Yeah, the remake is really rough. Yeah, and the stop motion looks really good here. I like the way the bones look in general, just like dirty and mucky and muddy. You know, because stop motion is, you know, rinky dink in a way, but they find a way to make it look very believable. Yeah, yeah, the Jason and the Argonauts, Ray Harryhausen stuff. Well, they could have done something creative with the remake. Like it can, I mean, I think the Friday the 13th remake, you know, I don't think you can say that movie lacks creativity. You can be like, well, it's like a greatest hits of the first four movies, but it still has some creative things like within those confines. Everything that the Nightmare on Elm Street remake does that like would have been different and cool, they walk back at the end of the movie. Yeah, and really the biggest problem with that one is that there are no likable characters. Yeah. Oh wait, you're talking because they replaced him. I mean, they've replaced him in like two or three of the movies, right? Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's the design that they've already made little changes and they haven't talked about the changes. So they've already changed the mask a couple times and still haven't fixed the eye holes, which are circular. On every other mask, they're circular. Oh, well, we got rid of that. The TV show California Dreams. I remember seeing that show when I was a kid. His special power is that he can talk in dreams. Does he not talk in the real world because he's just, is there like some sort of, is he scared? Like, what is it? What is it that's preventing him from talking in the real world? They don't even tell us. I thought it was just like anxiety and the fear and everything. Now you gotta know this is bullshit because it's like a friggin' Disney movie the way he comes down to be like, I've crossed over, princess, and I'm totally looking at you like I'm an evil son of a bitch. Oh, don't you believe it? Don't you believe it, Nancy? What be your pleasure, sir? What are you buying? What are you selling? Not enough cash. And Nancy gets it. Great effect there with the editing. It's funny to me that him just moving his wrist is what kills her. He doesn't move the knives at all. I'm going to move my wrist. And she's like, oh, that's just too much. What's happening, Aaron? Welcome on in, man. Hope you're doing well. So it literally is a case of get over it, bro. That's really that's what we're talking about. Is Joey just needs someone to slap him like the woman in Airplane that everyone was lined up to slap. They just need to slap him and be like, dude, get over it, bro. Okay, so he's all cured after that. That's good. Well, I don't think that's a terrible idea for like a comic book story or like a little one-off kind of thing, Austin. But it does sort of complicate things because like Freddy already has supernatural powers. So like he really doesn't need like, he can get you in your dreams. So he doesn't need anyone helping him, right? Unless everyone's on Hypnosil. And then you'd have to do some sort of big like RoboCop remake or Child's Play remake thing where there's like this corporation, we make Hypnosil, and you start off the movie with a commercial or something for the drug. Patricia's selling the emotion here. Her and Heather just acting their booties off. And it's a movie that is either adjacent to Wes Craven or made by Wes Craven. So you got to have at least one, hopefully 2 funeral scenes. What's happening, Corey? Welcome on in, man. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Well, hey there. How we doing? We're doing very well, man. We are just finishing up Dream Warriors here, but we are going to talk about the movie once it is all wrapped up, and we're pretty much at the end here. Just a couple minutes left, and then we're gonna hang out and we're gonna chit chat. How are you doing, Corey? Hope all is well, man. Yeah, it's very similar, isn't it? Yep. Very, very similar. Stranger. Now that's a weapon. Not enough cash. I already said that one. Thank you. Like all of the merchant from Resident Evil 4, like that guy is a true hero. Well, Wes, produced this movie. I don't know how much he wrote of this movie. I think Frank Darabont wrote a bulk of the movie. So I don't think Wes, I can't confirm if he decided to kill those characters off or not. They might have thought that this was going to be, maybe this would be it, And then the light turns on and the little stick version of Nancy's house, AKA, I guess they turn it into Freddy's house later on down the line. But there you go, guys. That was and will continue to be A Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors from 1987, directed by our guy, Chuck Russell, who we are celebrating today. And man, what a friggin' movie. That movie, it flies right by. It's a very easy watch, right? And quintessential 80s slasher right there. Let me jump on down and catch up on the comments with you guys. 3 Hellraisers without Doug Bradley. Yeah. I remember, the 2022 version, that's the only one I've seen that doesn't have him in it, the Hulu movie or whatever. All of the characters were so terrible in that movie. I didn't enjoy any of it. Yeah, all the effects and everything in this one are really good. And I don't even know if it's really it's like stuff that they do with like green screens and stuff like, I guess it is technically, it's like a digital effect. Yeah. Nancy's dream ghost is a hilarious thorn in Freddy's side from what I've seen in the comics. Oh, okay. I did not know that, Slasher Fred. They shot Hellraiser Judgment close to my area. I remember they were asking for extras and I almost signed up, but I couldn't get time off work. Would be cool to say I was in a Hellraiser. Yeah. Especially if you're like, I was in that one called Judgment with the other guy, right? Because is that one of the ones with the other dude, right? Name 2 actors or actresses that also played in a Hellraiser film from that movie. Shit. I don't know. I'm trying to think now. Is the actress that played Taryn, is she in one of those Hellraiser movies? Yeah, I don't know. Dream Master's on the same disc as Dream Warrior, so I don't even have to get up. Booyah! Was it Chuck Russell who decided to kill Donald and Nancy, and did he ever regret killing them off? I don't know if he made that writing decision. I think there were a few people involved in the writing on this one, Billy. But yeah, I'm not sure. I am not sure. I burn with desire each time my heart fans a fire of that old flame that burns inside of me. Just making up melodies for Jigsaw. Any movie from either franchise. Oh, gotcha. Oh, man, that's a lot of movies to think about. I can't do that in the middle of a stream and still be entertaining for everyone. But if you guys can think of it, let me know in the chat. One of the old Nightmare books has a blind guy who doesn't know that he is living in the OG house. Okay. The comics and all that stuff is pretty fun. I can't keep track. Like, I get so lost in the lore if I dive into comics because they do so many wild things in these comics. I usually try to stick with like, well, the movies are the true lore and then the comic books are the fun, you know. ZZ Top music video. Which ZZ Top music video, Slasher Fred? You can't tell me that. You can't drop that in the chat and not tell me the name of the song. That's not even a fact then. It's not even a factoid, right? I need the name of the song and then it becomes a factoid. Technically, Pinhead is in Judgment, but it's not Bradley and it's only in it for a minute. Okay. But that's the one that like on the cover, they're like, we found an out of shape guy to play. They're like, guys, hear me out. What if Pinhead had a head that looked like all he did was eat donuts? What if Pinhead just had a big old donut head? What if, guys, hear me out. What if Pinhead's head was like as big as Ted Kennedy's? What if we did that? Do you think that would work for the character? Because I mean, I think they knocked it out of the park casting Doug Bradley because Pinhead is supposed to be androgynous. You know, Pinhead isn't supposed to look manly or feminine. Like, Pinhead is supposed to be right in the middle. And I do think, yes, they give Doug, you know, he's got a booming voice and all that stuff. But as far as Doug Bradley goes, like, he is a, you know, relatively slender guy. I think you can tell it's a dude, but I think like they do a good job with the rest of the character design to have it be just like, it is what it is, you know? Like, we know it's a dude because Pinhead's played by a guy named Doug Bradley, right? The guy with donut head, no, donut head there's no androgyny there. I had no idea. What did she do on Pet Sematary? She act in that movie? Kim Myers, the redhead from Nightmare 2, played in Hellraiser Bloodlines, and Heather Langenkamp showed up in Judgment. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Kim Myers she's so hot in Bloodlines, too. I mean, I think she's one of the most, like, underrated, you know, women of 80s horror, you know, being in Nightmare 2. She's my favorite part of Nightmare 2. It's like, you know, I think, what's her face? Meryl Streep is, like, cute enough. Like, she's always been a you know, good-looking woman and all that. Kim Myers has got a very Meryl Streep thing going, but I think she's hotter. She's hotter for sure, especially in Hellraiser Bloodlines. Yeah, and I had no idea Langenkamp was in Judgment. Yeah, I've seen the first like 6 Hellraiser movies. I don't know. As far as I know, that was never in any serious part of the script, but they considered doing a Pinhead Michael Myers movie. Yeah. Well, what else about, you know, Dream Warriors can we talk about? I mean, I'm looking to see if I missed anything here. I'll pull up the trivia. Let's pull up the trivia on IMD Bizzle, as the kids call it, as the kids in the early 2000s would call it. Let's see what we got. Ooh, the Freddy glove that was stolen from the set of this film was found in another movie. It was hanging on the wall of the work shed in Evil Dead 2, released the same year. It was part of a continued banter between directors Wes Craven and Sam Raimi. Yes, we know all about that. I didn't know that that was a stolen glove. What? Let me guess. Wes Craven stole it? You know? On the VHS release, the music video for Dawkins' Dream Warriors appeared after the credits. The video contains many scenes from the movie and ends when the band vanquishes Freddy, causing him to wake up from his nightmare and ask, "Who are those guys?" Despite them telling him the whole song that they're the Dream Warriors. Yeah. Freddy didn't pick up on it. So there you go. Austin, that's the movie they need to make. It's a whole movie that's a giant music video. And at the end of it, Freddy wakes up from his nightmare. And he's actually the one that was getting the trick played on him. How about that? Wes Craven's original premise of the film involved Freddy invading the real world and haunting the actors and crew responsible for the Nightmare on Elm Street films. This idea was inspired by Return to Horror High, which was another meta horror movie at the time. However, it was rejected by the studio for being too ambitious, though Craven was later able to use it for New Nightmare. Yeah. And I want to use that whole idea for a new Scream movie, where it's a Scream movie filmed at a horror convention, or that takes place at a horror convention. Jennifer Rubin was told by some of her fans that her character of Taryn had caused them to quit drugs, and the actress is very proud of the fact. That's awesome. She's really good. Like I said, like the way she plays Taryn, like she gives her that, you know, that bit of mania that you would have coming off. I mean, she's got tracks in her arms. So back then in the 80s, that meant that you were shooting junk, right? Heroin, I'm going to imagine. Like I know now it seems like there's probably more options for people out there that do that kind of stuff. But yeah, like the way she plays that character, you know, just totally strung out, or, you know, coming down and fighting off the whole thing while going through the Freddy nonsense. Very believable. Yeah. Ken Sagos stated in an interview he really didn't want to audition for the role of Kincaid, but his acting agent, his agent talked him into going. There we go. On the day of the audition, he walked in heavy rain to catch the bus to the location. He showed up completely drenched and had to sit and wait for a few hours due to the auditions running late. When it was his turn, director Chuck Russell told him, "Do whatever you want to do." Sagos was so frustrated and mad about the whole ordeal that he yelled, "Fuck you," and then proceeded to scream and cuss out Russell. Russell immediately hired him. Some of these facts, you know, trivia things, I'd love to hear the, you know, Chuck, you know, maybe Chuck has told this story before. I'm sure Ken has told the story. But because the "fuck you" part is part of the script, right? So they put it in the script because of that, or did he sort of just launch into that scene from the movie where it's like the upset scene from the movie, right? I would imagine if you're auditioning, you've got some of the, you know, some of the pages from the actual script there. According to Wes Craven, he decided early on that there had to be a group of people fighting Freddy because the souls of his previous victims had made him too strong for one person alone. The idea for the mental hospital treating the Dream Warriors was not some riff on One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, but instead inspired by real-life establishments. Quote, "At that time, there was a kind of movement of such places that even advertised on television, 'Send us your troubled child and we'll make them okay.' And essentially, they were like prisons or insane asylums." Not even just at the time, like people have been doing that with their kids for a really long time. I think one of the Kennedy kids, oh my gosh, what's her name? Is it Rose? Like one of JFK and RFK and Ted's sisters was essentially lobotomized by the parents because that was acceptable treatment for whatever they were dealing with her. I think she was relatively young. I could have the facts wrong. This is not a channel where I discuss all that stuff all the time. So feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Absolutely. I don't ever remember. Yeah, I don't think I remember seeing him in those. I saw a lot of when they would have like Discount Jason on, and then Toxie. But man, the Pinhead freaked the hell out of me as a kid. And then it was funny to actually watch those movies as a high schooler and be like, he's not even really in them very much. You know, it's really about everything else. He's just a really cool looking character. Yeah, I guess fighting over the souls. The way that they did it had it written for Michael and Pinhead is that Michael is like essentially like an escaped Cenobite, or like a soul from hell that got out, and that Pinhead and the Cenobites are like hunting him down to bring him back. Something like that. Holy cow, look at that. Our guy Koi, Mr. Happy Sanjo, has been a channel member for 19 months. Thank you so very much, Koi. I hope you're doing well, man. Hope the summer is, rounding out. I guess what? We have one more month of summer. Hopefully it's treating you and yours well. Great to see you, man. Yeah, I had no idea. Stolen by Wes Craven. Here you go, Sam. You might want to put that in Evil Dead 2. Cool. I will have to check that out. Yeah. I will have to check it out. I do believe Anthrax was either a contender for having a theme song for Dream Warriors, or they petitioned to have that honor. Yeah, I guess Dokken was just more mainstream. I don't think Dokken really had that great of a career. They probably just popped at the right time. You know, they're no Slaughter. I'm just joking. Dokken is very much a Slaughter. They're no Poison. They're no Journey. They're no Def Lep. None of that. Doug Bradley's IMDb does not list a Hellraiser movie past part 8. He like took a break and came back, right? Didn't he? Didn't they do Judgment and then he did another one after that? Kincaid is a top 3 A Nightmare on Elm Street character for me. He's pretty awesome. Yeah. Ooh, I don't know. Lawrence instead of Ken. No, he hired Ken. Ken Sagos. If I don't have last names, I might not know. Paris Hilton was placed in one of those camps and she was treated very badly. Now she goes to protest and speaks out against them. Yeah, sometimes it's just that your kid's like going through hormonal changes and then you forgot what it was like. So you're like, I gotta send this kid to the damn hospital. It's like, no. That's just being a kid. That's just being a kid. Going to take the kids to Spider-Man in a few minutes. Just stopped in to say, I love you. We love you too, Koi. So I just saw Spider-Man earlier today. I hope you guys have a good time. It's a pretty rockin' Spider-Man movie. I think you'll have a blast. It'll try to make you cry too, which I appreciate. He was done with part 8. He was in talks to return and they jumped the gun on that shitty part 9. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm all that whole timeline and just everything with Hellraiser. It was a world that I didn't dive into the way I did with like Halloween or Friday the 13th or any of those. So yeah, I like. So what are they going to do now if they ever make another Hellraiser? What are you going to do? Just face replace, right? And put Doug Bradley's face on the person. That's the way to go. Billy, I don't know. These are all really good questions, but the movie is almost 40 years old, and the trivia on IMDb doesn't really go into every casting decision or anything like that. But usually the way it works is, the casting director, they know what kind of like type they're looking for to play the characters. So the casting director, gets a bunch of auditions lined up of people that can fulfill those parameters of the things they have in mind, right? And, you come in for your audition. Sometimes with your audition, you're probably usually just playing off somebody that's reading you the other part of the script. And then in the next round of auditions, you would interact with like, another person that's probably going to get a role, right? Or maybe you audition with multiple people that are all in the running. So they probably cast Bradley Gregg because he had the look that they wanted for Philip. And he probably had really good auditions, solo and then with his counterparts. I know it's a really generic answer. I don't have a story for you. But it's just all I know. It's all I know, Billy. Oh, Billy. All right, guys, I'll hang out for another couple minutes. And then we will scoot on. Oh my gosh, what is it? 11:20 out there on the East Coast. Oh my gosh, you guys are amazing for sticking with us. Thank you so very much for hanging out. Before it gets too late here, I just want to thank everyone who threw out a super chat. Paula Fitzhenry with a $5 super chat. Adrian James sending 10 jewels. Jiggy with a 5. Jiggy with another 5. And then we got Paula jumping in. She's like, hey, I'm going to double up on 5s as well. Thank you so very much, Paula. Jiggy with another 5, not to be outdone. Rebel Sky with a $2. Thank you so very much. And Corey from Wilkie's Movies and Music sending in a $5 super chat as well. Thank you so very much, guys. I really do appreciate it. All of the support is incredible. I do want you guys to know that I've got Evil Dead franchise ranking video is up. My Odyssey review is up. I don't know why I did an Odyssey review, but I did. You can check that out as well. I am going to drop a non-spoiler Spider-Man Brand New Day short here tonight. So keep an eye out for that. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. As soon as I have it ready. But it'll be very non-spoiler. So if you're interested in what I thought about that movie, you can check out my little blurb on it, and it won't ruin anything for you. Seen it earlier. This is my second time. Heck yeah, man. Well, I hope you guys have a blast together. Yeah, I saw it in 3D, and it was pretty killer. Pretty killer. All right, guys, that is going to wrap it up here for me on this one, but I will be back live on Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern. We are going to celebrate 40 years of Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives. We're going to get really nerdy. So, just get ready for that. Just, live in the nerd. It's going to be just celebrating Jason Lives and comparing it to other 6th entries in horror franchises. So I think that'll be really fun to have a chit chat about it, compare it to the others, and then just glaze it some more after that. Why the hell not? So that's going to wrap it up here for this one, guys. Thank you so much for being a Patreon member or being a YouTube channel member, if that applies to you. Everyone that's hanging out, I'm so appreciative of you guys kicking it with me. It's amazing. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that kind of good stuff. Really, the best thing you could do is share it with a friend that you think would love to hang out here. It's a great way to help the community grow. If you want to, chit chat or anything like that, we're over on Discord. The link is in the description below. We've got a merch shop, all sorts of fun stuff here. So there's no shortage of all that. Shout out to the Death Squad mods as well. Thank you guys for keeping everything clean. And yeah, guys, I will see you back on Saturday night, 10 p.m. Eastern. But until next time, I've been and will continue being Davey Deathray. Take care.